Looks like we're live. Back to burn with another midday live stream. This is my second one this week. Today's episode of the Unstuck Sessions, I want to talk about some marketing basics for the small business owner. We're going to go about a mile wide, but maybe about 2 feet deep. Um, but really, just some stuff to get you started. If you're venturing out into the treacherous territory of social media marketing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and roll the intro, and then we'll get into the program. What's up, y'all? My name is Brian. I am your marketing consultant in a box. Um, I run a marketing agency called I Sell Words. Our Unstuck sessions is basically what we use to kind of assess our clients' marketing needs and figure out the best strategy to move you forward. And a lot of times is a combination of some social media marketing, some media creation, and any combination that's going to make you successful. And so that's what we provide. Um, I've been doing this marketing for small businesses for the last 7 or so years. And I have a lot of experience working with micro budgets. And so these tips to get you started are really going to be focused on, if you don't have a lot going or you don't have a lot to spend on marketing, so you get the biggest bang for your buck. But again, I wanted to jump on here, jump on the live stream. I'm always open to answer questions. If we got questions or if a comment comes through, um, I would absolutely respond to it. But to get into the meat of the live stream, I want to jump directly into it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because you need a starting point. And I think a lot of times the information we consume, it's really based on the idea that you've already gotten started. And to be honest with you, sometimes if you don't have a great starting point, it limits your outcomes and it makes it a little bit harder once the ball gets rolling. And so that's what we're doing today. All right. So, first things first. Um, when it comes to, for small business owners, for social media marketing, this is an important consideration. It's something you got to stay on top of. Um, you got to pick the right platform. There are so many social media platforms out here that if you try to be present on all of them, you're just going to really drive yourself to distraction and you won't get the outcomes you're looking for. So, a personal example I can throw out there, and this is what I'm experiencing right now. I am on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. I post on Instagram, and by virtual posting on Instagram, I'm also posting on Facebook. Um, I'm on too many platforms right now. And the reason why I'm on all the platforms is I'm trying to figure out which ones have the best outcomes for me, so that I can start sharing that with my clients. I always use myself as the guinea pig for different marketing tests before I roll it out with my clients. I don't just go online and find marketing strategies and um, foist them upon people without any real experience. And so I'm present on a lot of platforms just to figure out which ones get the best returns for me and my strategy. Because, by extension, my strategy is going to be your strategy if you hire me as a consultant. So um, I'm realizing that um, YouTube is great. It's a fantastic platform. There's a lot of great things about YouTube. Um, YouTube Shorts is taking me through the peaks and valleys. I'm gonna tell you why. Um, I'm trying to figure out the cadence and stuff like that, and so there is a specific rhythm and cadence that you have to develop when you're using content to market your services to the world. But the other side is you start to, you get a library of content, and then you can go back and look at the analytics and figure out what is working and what's not working, and figure out times and subject matter that works and things along those lines. YouTube Shorts is really, really scattershot in terms of what the algorithm gives me. There's so many different variables. Um, and some videos I'll post on YouTube Shorts and they'll get hundreds of views, and others, which are in the same family of content, get two. And it's almost impossible to tell which videos are going to blow up and which ones aren't. Here's the other side. I realize the worse I feel about a video once I review it, and I'm like, I'm not too happy with different aspects of it, but it has some of the information I want to put out there. Um, that typically is a barometer, meaning this video is going to be the one that goes that blows up. Um, I've taken the YouTube shorts and started repurposing them on TikTok and Instagram Reels, and have a lot more consistent results and interaction and feedback. I just think that the market on YouTube for the shorts specifically, and maybe I just haven't worked in the algorithm enough to get my videos um, attached to the marketing side or the marketer side of YouTube, the business owner side of YouTube. I don't know, but I feel like the algorithm is really hit or miss when it comes to just the shorts content. And I'm also concerned that the shorts aren't necessarily helping any longer form content. And to be honest with you, um, producing a short is a little bit faster than doing a traditional long form video. But if I put those segments of time together, um, the span of doing, producing, 3 or 4 or 5 shorts is about the time of doing, your average form YouTube video. And so I'm thinking that my time might be better spent just doing YouTube videos that contain all the information at once. Also, I don't think the audience for shorts 100% is the audience that um, are the business owners I want to chase. And so it's basically, I don't think that that necessarily meets my client avatar, is what I'm saying. And if you know me and if you've interacted with me, the client avatar is everything. And to me, it's one of the most important aspects of doing business, is knowing who your clients are. And I'm having a hard time figuring out specifically who the audience is for my shorts. Um, and so I've tried a couple of different topics, a couple of different things, the subject matter. The ones that seem to work the best are when I'm talking about pricing strategy, but I can't even really give a lot of strategy in the shorts. It's just general observations about price and positioning. And so I don't know if YouTube Shorts is the avenue I want to take for the content I want to create right now. I might take the shorter form stuff and really just focus it on TikTok and um, Instagram, and just save YouTube for longer form videos and podcasts. So that's kind of where I'm at. But you have to pick the right channel first, because if you pick, and you don't have to be everywhere. You just pick the channel that works for you. And a lot of times the right channel may not be the perfect channel, but it's the channel that you know the best. It's the social media platform that you understand the best or have the most experience with. That's the one you want to go with. And then you start finding ones that are congruent to that one, which, it might have a similar interface, it might have a similar audience, but something that feels more familiar. And you just kind of test and figure out the responses you get. And you make sure that when you put the content out there, you have your call to action and all that other stuff. But at the same time, you make sure that you learn the platform enough so that you understand the different guidelines, um, different formatting things. TikTok has a different video formatting, video formatting than, your typical like Facebook or YouTube. And so you learn the conventions of what it takes. You have time conventions, how much time, how long a video can be, and aspect ratios, whether it's a vertical video or horizontal video, You know, those are different things you got to learn as you play around with the different platforms. And so that's what I'm saying. Learn one or two platforms and really focus on getting masterful at those. And then you can add others to your bag. And if you start seeing better results on different platforms, you can phase out platforms and focus on other ones. But you don't have to be everywhere all the time. That's what I'm saying. And I think specifically for small business owners, yeah, social media is free, but your time isn't free. And so your time is valuable. And if you're going to put your time into something, make sure it's something that you know how to maximize your results on and maximize your return on. So that's how you choose the right platform. The other things you got to consider with choosing a platform um, is who is the demographic that's present on that platform? What part of your client base is present on that platform? Um, you to be honest with you, hate to say it, but Facebook users are typically an older demographic than you're going to find always on TikTok or YouTube. Um, and so for an older demographic, Facebook might be the answer. For a more professional, buttoned up demographic, you're going to see that it may be LinkedIn. LinkedIn may be where your clients are, and so you want to be where your clients are. So, and I'm not saying that you can't make sales on YouTube or Facebook if most of your clients come off of LinkedIn. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you're first getting started, um, understand that being on the right platform includes being where the people you want to connect with are, and figuring out how to get even more in the room with them. So you may be in the same building, but you may not be in the same room, if that makes sense. And so you follow specific groups and post to certain forums and stuff like that. So you can really start lasering and narrowing down where those people are. But that's how you determine. So go with what you know and go with what where your audience is. And those are the two things that I would start out with. There's other nuances that once you get the ball rolling and get more familiar with posting on social media, you can implement. But those are the areas that I want you to be on. Um, Number two, create engaging content. Now, this is a challenge because here's the thing, and I mentioned this on Tuesday, but the thing that the knowledge that you have is boring to you. If you're an expert in a specific field, that knowledge is mundane, it's basic. It's not exciting or sexy to you. Um, but for a lot of people that you interact with, the things that you find, the information that you have in your head that feels mundane or boring or basic is gold to them. It's amazing to them. It's transformative to them. And so a lot of times when we talk about creating engaging content, um, we underestimate how valuable our information or the stuff that we're coming in with is to other human beings. And so the creating engaging content, yeah, it's great to be entertaining. When you look at the top trending videos on TikTok or YouTube, um, those videos are great. They're super entertaining. The person is over the top and they may be super engaging, but it's not exactly valuable information that will change your life. More times than not, if you're in the business world, the boring stuff is what makes the money. And so sharing the information that you believe is boring or mundane and you don't want to be pedantic, that's fine. Share it. It's going to engage somebody. I think a lot of times social media conditions us to almost be self-conscious and try to put ourselves in the mind of our client or customers or audience a little bit too much. And when you try to do that, you bring your own biases into it. And so you're harsher on your own knowledge than you are other people. And so um, this information that's in your brain, the thing that you do on a day-to-day basis, whether I have different people I interact with, whether it's about flooring, whether it's about roofing, it's about heating and air, it's about sports training. It feels boring to you because you are so familiar with it that it's just basic knowledge that you know all the time. But the reality of things is it can be life-changing information. Um, it can really save somebody's life. It can really transform somebody's life. And so I feel like it's important to share what you know without feeling like you're boring your audience. If you're boring your audience, they'll click off and they'll go find something else to do. But if it's really valuable to them, they will circle back. So, but the engaging content that comes with practice. You start to learn how to make your videos pop and all that other stuff. But I don't want that to be the first thing that you try to do off the rip. Some people are really good at when the camera comes on, they're on and they're instantly dynamic and you can't take your eyes off of them. That isn't the majority of people. More times than not, just really sharing what you know is incredible for people. Now I do want to go into the consistency piece of it because number three is consistency is important. Um, Consistency, it depends on what your cadence are. If you post or what your cadence is, yeah. If you post, if you're comfortable posting once a day, then that's your cadence. But if you can post, if you only can post quality stuff once a week, then that's fine. If it's once a month, then that's fine. But establish a specific frequency that works with you and try to stick with it as much as you can. I'm not the best on it because I'm testing out all these different times and approaches and days to post up so that I can learn the platform. But the consistency piece is the key part of it. The consistency is also the piece that burns people out because they start on a schedule that they cannot maintain. And that is where social media burnout occurs, where you're on a frequency that you cannot, absolutely cannot maintain. And that is a challenge. So I just want you to be kind of aware of the consistency piece and be kind to yourself when you're picking out a time or a frequency with posting. So, all right, let me go. All right. Take opportunities to interact with your audience. Ask them questions. Every time I come on here, I ask for marketing questions, and I never really get them. But I keep asking for them because I want y'all to know that I am here to service y'all and provide a marketing resource for you. And a lot of times, the questions I get come offline. And I normally don't bring those online just because they're private conversations or whatnot, but find opportunities to engage your audience. Polls, you know, questions, frequently asked questions is always a great engagement piece. And respond to comments as they come in. And if you get negative comments, I would almost go with either reply positively or just thank them for their input and keep moving on. Don't get too sucked into the negative comments. That's easier said than done because specifically when it comes to early on, your first content, you're going to be really sensitive to how it feels to have people respond negatively to it. And so there's no winning against a troll who just wants to dominate your time. So respond to comments, answer messages, engage with the posts. If you see somebody reposting your stuff, give it a heart, give it a like, and comment and thank them for sharing your stuff. But this allows you to really build kind of a community of people that listen to your voice and respond to your voice. And it can build a community around your business. And if they know, they get a sense of your personality, it makes it easier. It's one less hurdle that they have to jump over to build trust with you. Okay. Social media advertising, this you need to be careful with. Because here's the thing, social media incentivizes you to drop money to boost posts. And they make it very simple for you to do that. And there's a specific reason why they make it very simple for you to do that. They make it simple for you to drop money to boost posts because it's a nice little stream of revenue for them. Now, do your posts hit the audience that you're looking at all the time? Probably not. So if you're going to actually use social media advertising to increase the reach of your messages, or increase the reach of your videos or increase the reach of your social media posts, you need to spend some time and invest in learning the back end of these social media platforms so you can target your audience. Targeting your audience is the difference between that $100 bringing in you 5 new clients or that $100 getting flushed down the toilet. And it adds up very quickly. So, and those social media companies are always on time. Google and Facebook are always on time when it comes to taking that money out of your account. Um, but they're slow to update your audience or make you aware of changes they've made to their algorithm. It makes it harder for you to reach your audience. So you need to learn. You need to learn some of the back end. And if you need help with it, I'm available. You can hire me to help out with that stuff. But you need to know how to target and add to somebody if you're going to put money into the social media account, because I've seen it where I can put $50 behind an ad and get $5,000 back. But it takes a lot of experience doing it. And if you don't target it, it can be really a crapshoot where you're just dumping money. Okay. Um, Track your results. And that's the process I'm in right now. The reason why I'm present on so many different platforms and post kind of all around the calendar and all around the clock is because I'm trying to figure out which ones respond the best consistently. And so there is a method to my madness. For you, if you limit how many platforms you're on and you limit how frequently you post and limit your topics and cadence and all that other stuff that goes along with posting on social media, you're going to be able to track your numbers to see the results really quickly. You're going to be able to track which people have converted into ongoing clients with you based on your social media posts. And there are different tools out there. One tool that a lot of businesses don't really use too frequently, which is costing them money, is the Facebook Pixel. Facebook Pixel is a great tool to utilize to really help you as a business owner track where your marketing dollars are going. Okay. So you do want to track your results and stay updated with social media changes. Whenever they roll out a new feature on a social media platform, you don't have to use it right away, but you can absolutely start testing it to see if it benefits you. Algorithms change all the time. Sometimes a video may be going over like gangbusters one day, and then the next day nobody's watching it. That's probably a sign that they pulled something or changed something in the algorithm. You're not going to be privy to that proprietary information, but you can absolutely watch what content does well and then kind of falls off a cliff. You can start reverse engineering once you understand how your stuff is targeted. You can start reverse engineering because you can see, okay, videos targeted towards this specific group have fallen off a cliff, and this one is picking up. So, whatever reason the algorithm is favoring this specific method of targeting versus that one. It sounds complicated, but once you start developing a library of content, it gets a lot easier. And the last thing is be yourself. Don't try to put on a fake face when you are recording stuff for your business, when you are putting content out there, when you're writing stuff. Don't put on a fake face. Be who you really are, because that's who your clients are connecting with. The social media part of it is social. We forget that a lot of times. We forget that there's a social element to it, and people can always detect a fake smile. People can typically detect when somebody's not being authentic with them or they're holding something back. And so it's really super important to make sure that you are taking every step and making every effort to be who you naturally are. You know, if you are, when people interact with you as the business owner, you're kind of laid back and casual, but then they see you in videos and you're all buttoned up in a suit, that doesn't really ring true to them. So be who you are. Because here's the thing, people don't buy, people go to movies and they go to theater to see actors act. They don't follow you on social media to see you act. unless you're like unless you're like some kind of comedy thing and that's your entire platform is based on comedy and skits and everything. And even then, they still want to see you bits and pieces of your authentic personality. Um, don't try to log on to be somebody else. It will backfire. And when I say backfire, there are ways where it doesn't, where people see who you really are and then they meet you in real life and there's a real strong disconnect. For business owners, that absolutely does happen, where they see you on social media acting one way and then they come in and interact with you and it's a completely different way. Be who you are in front of the camera. Now, there is a small caveat towards that. If you are uh you have stuff that if you say inflammatory things or you have grudges or axes to grind against specific groups, you probably don't need to lead with that at all. That's the piece that you don't want to put out there. You need to leave that alone and leave that side of yourself away from public view. But all the other stuff, um, your personality, who you are, your passion for delivering high quality service, that needs to come across in your social media content. Um, I use a lot of ums and ahs because my thoughts go at 175 miles per hour. And so I'm constantly trying to catch up. My mouth is constantly trying to catch up to my where my brain is. So I do have a lot of those natural pauses. I'll start a thought and then instantly want to rephrase it. That's just kind of how I talk. And so I'm getting better with listening to myself. You have to get better with seeing and hearing yourself and sharing that side of yourself with the world. That is the part of the social media experiment with for business owners. You have to really take pain. You got to take care to make sure that you are putting the best version of your authentic self out there. You see that I did there? The best version of your authentic self, not the worst version of your authentic self. We've seen that a lot. Um, and so that's what I have for this. Again, I'm just doing this as a short live stream. I'm probably going to be back on a little bit later on to answer any marketing questions you have. Again, I do like to open up the live streams for questions and stuff like that. But this is really just about, some things that you need to consider as a small business owner when navigating social media. I really do appreciate y'all's time. Um, Thanks for tuning in. If you want to get unstuck with me, um, the information will be in the show notes of this or wherever you see this posted. I will put my contact information on the screen so you can reach out and maybe we can sit down and schedule an unstuck meeting so we can figure out where your marketing's hung up and figure out a way past it. Again, thanks for tuning in to this short live stream. I'm going to be back on a little bit later to answer questions. I appreciate y'all's time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.